In this week's episode, I continue my journey across West Africa, leaving chaotic Freetown behind and crossing the entire country of Sierra Leone by public transit and shared taxi before entering the Americanesque nation of Liberia, one of the only African countries to have never been colonized. Join me as I guide you step by step between two of West Africa's only English-speaking countries as we reach the southwesternmost point on this West African adventure. This is your guide to traveling from Freetown to Monrovia.
It's about 5 o'clock in the morning, so super early, so I should have enough time at least to probably make it all the way to Liberia. We'll see how this goes. Well, I got my ticket to Bo, but the bus is still not departing, of course. It's a bit early. I think they usually head out about 6 a.m. I guess once they fill. There's about 20 people here, so probably about half full by now, but shouldn't be too much longer at least. It was 120 leones to get to Bo, which is about 4 or 5 hours away, I guess. So we'll see how long it actually takes. But I should get there no later than noon. Knock on wood, we'll see. But should be able to make it to Liberia today. So the sun is finally risen here. There's the City Hall building right there on the right. And no luck on the bus departing yet, but hopefully it departs soon. It's about 6:30 now, 6:40, so getting closer to 7 before we leave, I think. So you can see there is a few destinations you can leave to from here. They even have buses to Conakry there on the left counter, but pretty much anywhere in the country. No direct buses to Liberia though. You gotta go to Bo and then find a local minibus heading to the border. So not as much demand for Liberia, which I find surprising. It's English speaking and it's so near, so it makes no sense, but it is what it is. I guess we are boarding for Bo. I hope this is the right bus. All right, well, made it on board here. Decent enough room, I guess. It's a little bit cramped, but not too bad. Definitely hot though, so hopefully we get moving soon because I need some breeze. I guess there's no AC on board, but it's I think 4 hours, so it shouldn't be too bad. All right, we are finally pulling out of Freetown. It's about 8:15 in the morning, so it took 3 hours exactly from the time I got here to the time we left, so it takes a while to fill this bus. Anyway, we're hitting the road. It's pretty interesting. I mean, the towns here in Sierra Leone have British names. So this is Waterloo. There's Kent. There's Aberdeen, of course. There's plenty. So a lot of the names come from Great Britain. Huge market here in this town. Wow. I've arrived here in Bo. I'm going to see if I can get a ride over to the Liberia border. We'll find out if this is possible today. It's 1 p.m. already, so I guess we'll find out. So I got two options basically. I have the border taxi, which is this one. That's 125, you said, or something like that. And the other one is a direct taxi that's going all the way to Monrovia for 400. So I guess I can't decide which one to take, but at least there's some cars going to the border today. So it's kind of unavoidable when you're traveling in Africa, this part of Africa at least. They do like to double up the front seat, so they do fit 2 passengers in the front. So to avoid that, I've just bought the 2 seats basically. So I paid double, but this was only about, let's say 15 Canadian or so for the ride to the border. So not too bad and as comfortable as it gets, I guess. So this is the beast that's going to take me there, and they're just getting the final touches done on packing up the car, and then we're on our way. So it's about a 2-hour drive to the border, and then I'll cross over. So a little bit steep, I guess, but it's by what comparison, I guess? Cheap by Canadian standards. So once I get to the border, I'll cross by foot. I think it's like 200 meters. So I decided not to go with the direct route to Monrovia, just because I just kind of want to break it up. Maybe I want to stretch my legs. So I don't know. This gives me a bit more freedom, and I can control the situation a little bit more. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. So it's so unbelievably hot here that my bottled water is actually tea temperature. So wow. So just waiting for a couple other passengers, and then we can actually head out of here. It looks like they already tied the trunk up, so shouldn't be much longer at least. There are so many mosquitoes here, it's unbelievable. Most mosquitoes I've seen outside of the Gambia, I would say. So this is the fairly nondescript town of Bo. This is the second largest city in Sierra Leone, so the hub of the east, basically, gateway to Liberia. So I guess we're still waiting on one more person before we're able to get out of here. All right, we're on our way now, departing Bo, heading for the Liberia border, 2 hours or so ahead of us. So it was about 45 minutes to an hour wait, I would say, from when the bus dropped me off from Freetown. So it was pretty seamless. They just gotta wait to fill up the car. So it's pretty straightforward, but make sure you take that really early morning bus for Freetown if you're planning on doing this in one day, as it is very, very tight connections here to get all the way to Monrovia, which is about 9 hours from Freetown. So it's a lot of driving in one day, but I really want to stay somewhere comfortable tonight and not in the middle of nowhere, and just be ready to sightsee tomorrow. So that's what I'm doing. We just turned towards the Liberian border now, so it should only be about 10 minutes or so. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. But there's a checkpoint along the way, so don't be flustered if you encounter that. They basically just take down your passport information, but the actual exit immigration is further down the road by the border. So pretty pain-free, really. Freetown to Monrovia in one day. Easy trip, as long as you start early. Alright, we're arriving at the Liberia border. We're gonna head to the Liberia side, I guess. Get on a little motorbike here. Quite organized. So I'm crossing officially out of Sierra Leone now into Liberia. And that is the Liberian gate with the red, white, and blue. The USA of Africa. It's crazy. Huge load on top of this van. Absolutely nuts. Wow. Well, what a day, folks. It is 8:30 p.m., so it took 12 hours and 15 minutes for me to reach my hotel here. This is the Diana Hotel, which is actually pretty decent. It's a bit overpriced. I paid about 100 Canadian for this, 98 I think. It's pretty Spartan, but that's because everything here is kind of based off the US dollar, so you get gouged kind of with US prices. So I think this is 72 US per night. I think that's what it works out to. But yeah, comfortable enough, has a AC, bed looks clean, and it does have a little desk and
television, so not bad for what it is. This is the cheapest place in town that you could book on Expedia, at least. There are cheaper options, of course, but I'm not really looking just to get the cheapest room, or else that might turn into a nightmare. In any case, I am so wiped. That was such a long day. It is very, very difficult to travel from Freetown to Monrovia in one day. You can do it, but you're going to be depleted by the end of it. So had we left at 6 in the morning, we probably would have been here around 6 p.m. That's still a pretty full day though. So budget 12 hours. There's a lot of check stops, a lot of people just randomly looking at your passport throughout the day. It does slow you down, and then there's rest stops for the passengers and everything else. So it is what it is, but I'm here safe and sound in Monrovia, which is actually kind of a sketchy city. I heard that it's worse at night, so I'm not gonna let any of what I just saw impact my judgment here. I'm gonna give it a fair chance tomorrow morning, but in any case, I'm gonna call it a night for tonight. I'm gonna see if there's any food downstairs at this Diana restaurant. I heard it's really good. It's a Lebanese restaurant of all things. There's a huge Lebanese population here. It's the most random thing. That was the same way in Sierra Leone as well. They have a huge Lebanese population there too. So I don't know what it is about Lebanese people coming to this corner of West Africa. It's kind of random. In any case, definitely been a long day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified when new episodes are posted. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.